Good evening, all. We welcome you to this wonderful session on how inspiration impacts goal setting. As you all are aware, these are the times where every individual is looking for an opportunity, is looking for some sort of mentoring, some sort of guidance. What should we do? Where we'll lead ourselves? So, Mentor Card is from today onwards coming up with this series that every Saturday 7 p.m. we are going to focus on such objectives wherein especially students would get a lot of things, a lot of myths would be uncleared, and they'll get a lot of guidance through mentors. So I'm Swaroop Gandevar, and let me introduce to you today's mentors. I would like to first introduce Mangla. She has done REBT mindset, or rather, she's a REBT mindset life coach and a hypnotransfer therapist. She has done from Scotland, and she has an experience of 14 years. That's a wonderful experience. Welcome, Mangla. And now let me introduce to you our next mentor, Mr. Santosh Sunar. He is founder and director of Be the Guide Motivational Coaching Organization. He is an internationally recognized poet and he has won Indian Leadership Icon Award with an experience of more than 14 years. He is today discussing with us, and both our mentors are going to guide us today on various aspects. So, to start with, let me ask one question to Mangla. That
Yeah.
Mangla, like you have such a tremendous experience, you've been doing so many things. So, I just want to ask you that in your early days, you must have got this question: how to choose a career option? So, what was your take on this?
See, from the day one, when I had decided to get into the training stream, I always thought that okay, let me do something which is very unique, which is identical, and too many ideas that used to pop up. I used to
Right.
write it down. Always, when you have to choose a career path, you have to narrow down your choices.
Very
We
true.
all come across multiple career options, but what suits you best according to the education, sometimes it's even beyond or apart from what you have graduated or acquired, the degree or any kind of education qualification that we own. Again, you have to do a thorough research when you are getting down into it. So being more specific about what you want to go, where you want to reach, that matters a lot in choosing a career. Apart from that, I would definitely suggest people to take up personality tests in order to
True.
match
Very true.
exact fit.
Absolutely. So, like, this is very important. Santosh, moving ahead, I would like to ask you one question. You have won an award also. So, can you tell us why is it important to be a passionate person?
Very good question, Swaroop. I really like it. But before that, I really thank Metacard to give us this platform. All right, and yeah, it's very much important to become passionate. You know why?
Hmm.
Because it derives your personality. There is something which we all like to do in our life, and that one particular field, makes us to become better than others. And that's why it's very,
True.
very important for us to become passionate. Now, for example, by passion, I love to write poems, and that's why I've
Right.
excelled so far in this field. There were times when I used to always, close or shut the door, and instead of studying, I used to just write poems. Although I was very good in studies as well. So by hiding, by hiding our passion, and then when you are letting out towards the world, what happens is this: people will know you and you'll get
True.
recognized. It's important to become passionate. you know Everybody wants that visibility, that recognition, to be honest, right? So if you do not come out of the crowd, how will you become recognized or visible? And how you can show others that if you become really passion, if you have that really passion in you, what happens is this: how will you show to others that okay, this is the
True.
example that you really need to take place, right?
Absolutely.
So passion is not all about what you love. It is also about showing the path to others, and that's why it's very, very important to become passionate.
Absolutely. Well said. Well said. Mangla, like in your first thing that I asked, you said about how to choose a career option.
Yes.
So, moving ahead, I feel I have this thing. Recently, when I was answering one of the question, Mentor Card has a detox app wherein we
Yes.
can answer question to a lot of students, and you have both have answered many questions on numerous occasions. So there was
Yes.
one question, a very particular question. I like that question. The student had asked how to select a career, particular and proper career goal? How you can set that?
So, see, you mean to say it's about the realistic goals. That's what, right?
Right,
Now,
absolutely right.
let me explain it in a very short way. Goal is nothing but it's our dream and ambitions put together into
True.
action. See,
With
one
a
dream,
plan. Yeah,
you have to visualize, you have to plan
right.
it, you have to write it down,
Absolutely
you
right.
have to narrate it, you have to connect to the reality. See, dreams all dream, but the dream is connected to goal and the goal becomes realistic or how achievable it is in real time and how practically you are going to invest everything,
Right,
right from your time, your energy and money, most importantly, choosing it very carefully, bifurcating it, and the stages of making it realistic is becoming time bound.
right.
You have you have to achieve within a time frame. Unless you don't
Absolutely.
match it within the time frame, that ends up in procrastination. And
Right.
procrastination is a very bad
Doesn't end.
trait.
True.
All human
Very
beings, we do it on day-to-day basis. So
properly.
making sure that you're boosted is like keeping track on your plans. Making the simple goals can be achieved through making it a small goals, which becomes more achievable on day-to-day activity. I mean, daily tasks. For example, if I say today I have to fetch 10 liters, it's a small example that I can give you. 10 liters of water in a day, if I have to store, then I will have to plan from what time I'll have to stand and store the water, right? What could be the capacity of containers that I need to put in? So we have to match the time as well as your activity that you are going to indulge in.
True. 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 That's a very well answered question. Uh,
Fantastic.
Santosh, you have won an international award. So I have this urge now to ask you one question. That what is your mission statement? What was that one thing that sets you apart?
Well, that one thing which sets me apart is all about, identifying your skills. You see, what happened when I was working with HSBC, Hong Kong Shanghai Banking Corporation. All right. That time I even do not know how to, I was just a sales executive and I need to sell the products, the insurance. Very difficult for me to be in this field. I've always come out of my comfort zone. That is one thing. You see, 13 years and 14 years of experience, if I have to speak, I've never been in my comfort zone. I am just a
True.
past graduate student, okay, who passed out in zoology, but I worked with international bank also. Now you think, how did that happen? Right? There was
True.
something in me, that those skills which really, made me better than others. Like for example, when I went for an interview, all right, there were around 1,000 candidates coming from various states to give the interview, and only five were selected. I do not know what was there at that point of time in me. But gradually, slowly, when I entered into Hong Kong Shanghai Banking Corporation, then I understood, okay, there is something which really, makes me different from others. And that was the passion to learn new things, the passion, the interest to be better than others in that one particular field when you have no experience in it. There was time when my manager also, told me, Santosh, I do not think so. You'll survive in this organization for the next 1 year. I said, no, sir, you're wrong. See, I'll be the best because I'm not from a commerce background. But
Mm.
I'll show that gradually going forward, I will be the best one. And guess what? What happened? I became the best in all this front, in sales, in non-sales work, everywhere. And then I became a senior compliance manager, you see,
Wow.
and then also became the best employee in Asia for HSBC.
Wow.
All right.
That's really
So
amazing.
that
That's
was
really
one particular year in the year 2015. Now, having said regarding international recognition and international poet, you see, when I was in class nine, okay, I was very much fascinated, by all these poems, what William Wordsworth they write, Lord Byron, and then John Keats, they write all those poems. I used to think, how can they frame those sentences?
right.
Those sentences, how they can group together. I thought, let
True.
me try. Because you see, if you not try to come out of your comfort zone, then nobody's going to
Right. Right. Right.
able to save you.
True.
So I
Very
just
true.
tried. Whenever anybody writes a poem, the first poem will be always the easiest one, right?
Yeah.
Isn't it?
True.
But
True. Very
my
true.
poem, it was all about philosophy. It was about life, and the title of the poem was "Life Like an Ash of a Fire."
Oh.
And I'm surprised I have written such kind of, and slowly by slowly what happened, my poems got published. And that one particular poem which got which made me internationally recognized is something. The title, you'll get surprised by listening to the title, and it is proposal from a PD heart. So the other nature of mine is that I'm a bit dramatic as well. All right, I don't mind saying that. Right, so that you need to always come out of your comfort zone. Do not sit in one place and just say that okay, God is going to help you from everywhere. You need to make yourself apart. If you want to
True.
explore, if you want to really explore the world, come out of your comfort zone. That's what we do, right? When we want to explore the world,
Absolutely.
we right, because there's a passion, there's a love in us that we want to explore the world. So that's
Right.
how it's important for
No,
us.
it's really amazing. What
Yeah.
you have said, Santosh, right now, I think is going to inspire a lot of students, a lot of people out there. Uh, See, when you discuss this thing, I was wondering that did you recognize your strengths? Did you work out what weaknesses you are, or what were the opportunities? So I think Mangla should answer this question. That what is SWOT?
All right. See, SWOT in very simplest term, it's a technique or it's a matrix, it's a tool wherein we use to plan strategical developments of an individual wherever they have a stated goal or for an organization when they have a mission to carry. So
Okay,
strength as an acronym stands for, as you know, SWOT as an acronym stands for strength, your weaknesses, which are internal factors, and these are all within the measurable control. Then we have
right.
external factors, that is opportunities and threats, which which is very uncertain and uncontrollable at times. A simple example which I would like to narrate here to correlate to this is strength. It can be, for example, myself. If I consider myself in these to put into this four column, I will say I'm very good in communication. I'm very good in
Right.
time management. This becomes my traits, good traits,
True,
strengths.
true.
Let's talk about the irrational, rational, from irrational to rational weaknesses. I would say I am not a go getter. When I say I'm not a go getter, that can become a slight weakness, but that
Right.
weakness can be challenged and it can be rectified also.
True.
Going for the opportunities, exploring the innumerable doors, keeping the hope for going in further. As you know, the threats, it can be my competitors, it can be the other skill sets which requires in the market to stay, what do I say, stay employed. Even that can be a threat to me. Even for an organization, a parallel product can also be a threat to an organization. This is how you have to categorize when we get into the SWOT analysis. More in depth, we have many things, many tools, many
Right.
measures to it.
Yeah, that's wonderfully answered, because I believe when you give examples, then it becomes quite relevant for a person next to you to
Yes.
understand that concept. And I've seen this happening in mentor card. Whenever you get an access to that mentor card detox section, where you can put in your questions, and it
Yes.
has been amazing thing. Thousands of students have been putting a lot of questions on that platform, and the
Yes.
way mentors have been answering those questions, that is quite remarkable, because every individual has a different set of experience, and on the
Yes.
basis of that experience, when they answer this question, it becomes one time experience, one time learning experience for every individual who becomes a part of it. So that's really an amazing thing that is happening. And Santosh, when Mangla was talking about SWOT, one thing come to my mind, that a lot of students have been asking this thing: knowing your core competency is the best part, but how?
See, one thing is that we need to always rate and analyze ourselves. For example, what happens when we are, we have that, what do you call, when we once identify our skills. For example, skills can be many things. All right. For, let's say if you are good in speaking, all right. Now portion, this particular portion speaking. Now, when you are speaking in front of everyone, what happens? They are going to rate you. They are going to, tell your weaknesses. They are going to give you a lot of feedbacks. Now,
Hmm.
take all those feedbacks, analyze yourself, and see whether you can really, whether you have really matched up the point or not. Yes, sometimes the feedbacks will be very hard and straight. Now, it all depends on your perception, how you are taking those feedbacks. All right. There are other things as well which I would like to tell you that there are a few situations where, which is especially known as CAR model, CAR, cause, action, all right.
Yeah.
Now you need to identify what is that cause, that is making you, um, that is making you really, really, difficult in a very different situation. Why are you nervous? What is that cause? Why are you feeling shy? That is the cause. Okay, you need to find out that. Once you find out that, then you have to, put it in a way that what action you are going to take. What is the
Right.
plan of action, and how long this plan of action will go? You need to put that time bound kind of a thing in a smart, smart tool, right? So the time bound is important, and then track, measure your progress against that. Then you see the result. The result will change. You'll get a very different result. You'll get a very different result, and that's where you will be able to understand whether you have, improved, or you still need to improve yourself even further. All right. So that's what I can really, give an example to. This is how they can really, improve themselves in the ways that in the future when they have to deal with some difficult situation.
Now, a lot of people who are, listening to this discussion of ours must be thinking they are talking about detox, they are talking about winter cart, but what is it all about? So,
Yeah.
people, this is just for your information that winter cart is a wonderful platform wherein we have mentors and we have mentees, and it's an app that is available on Play Store, and it is also for iOS. You can just download it, and you will understand it is the most powerful tool today youth has to empower themselves sitting at home, because once you log on to dtalk and type your question, you will get a lot of answers to that question. Talking about answers, Mangla, my next question to you is, people talk about goals, they
Yes.
talk about milestones, so
Yes.
what is basically a relevance between the two?
See, milestones are nothing but it's a nested goal within a larger goal. It is simple. When I talk
Okay.
about milestones, it can be a targeted activity for a number of days, weeks, months, or a year. Without milestone, none of us are motivated. When I
True.
say there is a small destination that I have to reach, I'll have to board the bus, and I'll have to make sure whichever the bus I'm boarding reaches the proper destination. This is where the milestone is set. We have to make sure how many stops we arrive at. Are we going to get down? If we are not going to get down, how are we going to spend that time of journey by doing something very creative, very motivating, and self inspiring? This is how milestone connects us to reach the goal in whatever the stipulated time we plan to.
Right. So, like a lot of people are having, this confusion that
Mm,
if you don't set a short-term goal, but you set a long-term goal, then
mm,
there might be a problem, because it doesn't drive you. If you talk about 10 years from here, a goal
mm.
from 10 years, but you're not setting short-term goals. So, do you think like short-term goals are very important in order to set a
Yes.
long-term goal?
See, for any long to achieve any long-term goal, you have to split. See, for example, I'll give you a common example. If I'm eating a large chunk of food, your appetite may not accept it.
Right. Absolutely right.
You'll have to break down into the
Divided.
simplest part of food so that your body absorbs it, it gets digested out. It's same way applies to that also. When you're thinking of a 10-year goal, why not a 5-year goal plan? That 5-year goal plan gets into a yearly split. Yearly becomes 6 months, 6 months
Right.
becomes quarterly, quarterly becomes monthly, monthly becomes hourly, weekly, minutely. So it is
True.
very,
Very
very important to set minute goals because that
right.
motivates us to achieve in
Absolutely.
further. Your
True.
target is going to be made easy.
Absolutely true.
Yes.
Very true.
I, I would like
So,
to add on this, if you
Yeah,
allow
sure,
me.
sure.
sure.
Sure, sure.
See, long-term goals are actually known as visions, all right? And
Yes.
Right.
visions needs to be, very clear. We
Yes.
have
True.
a lot of visions, but we are not
Yes.
clear about our vision. Many of us, many of the students, when I have counseled them, when I have spoken to them one-on-one, I understood that
Mm.
they do not know what is their vision. When I ask a simple question, what sort of job do you really want? They give me
Yes.
any job. Then I used to tell them, do you need a security job? A security guard job? So no, 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 I don't want security guard job. Then what do you want? I want
Mm.
a
They
certification. Then they say, I
That's
would like to work in a bank. And I say to them, bank is a huge industry. Where do you really
Yeah.
want to work?
true.
Which department you want to work? What
Hmm.
are your qualification? What is your qualification, and how you want to really, put yourself into that platform? So are you
True.
ready
Very
or
true.
not? So
Hmm.
Mhm.
this mission, the mission is a short-term goal. The mission
Hmm.
which we need to, which we accomplish in those small missions, it gives us confidence, a lot of confidence. I wouldn't have
Yes.
been confident about my life if I had not entered into various different zones and have if I have not
True.
performed well. If
Hmm.
you really want to have a clear vision and you want to accomplish the long vision, or if you want to accomplish the vision, long-term goals, then you really need to be persistent. You really need to be patient, and you also really need to have the guts to drive yourself. I remember that my manager said to me, I asked to him once, what do I need to, what should I need to do when, if I have to open my own venture? What should I do in that
Hmm.
case? He said, you need to have guts. So that is what exactly I proved him at this point
Very
of
true.
time. I proved him and I contacted him back and said, thank you so much for your, advice. And today I can show you that I have that guts to do it. See,
Absolutely.
long-term vision
Absolutely.
or long-term goals is all about taking risk. Now,
True.
risk means calculative risk.
Yes.
Calculative
Absolutely.
risk.
Yes.
Absolutely.
I have not taken the risk of being a motivational speaker or a motivational coach just like that. I
Mhm.
did not leave my job just like that. I
Hmm.
created a platform for motivational speaking, and then slowly by slowly I transitioned into that field. So you need to be very clever when you want a you know, next set of career that you really want to follow, right?
Right.
That's what.
Absolutely.
Here, I would like to add
Yeah.
another point. We need to get into the thorough research of whatever we want to achieve. Unless you are not aware of where you want to go, how do you want to get in, at what point you have to stop, introspect, retrospect. It is very, very challenging for any individual to pitch on whatever they are doing.
True. Very true. See, after having this discussion, I come to one conclusion. I
Hmm.
firmly believe personally that I will like have want to ask this question to both. I would like
Hmm.
Mangla to answer this first. What do you think is the role of a mentor in every individual's life?
See, I am a mentor, and I do have a mentor still. I have been practicing from various universities even now, and you should never stop learning, because mentors are the one we call them as guiding light.
Absolutely
They
right.
are the blessed angels in everyone's life. They do not judge an individual when they come up with their challenges. Rather, they motivate them to explore their own gray
Right.
areas.
Absolutely right.
This is where a
Absolutely right.
mentor always stands. Mentor says the path is there. We will lead you to the path, but we will not push you to the path. We will
True.
motivate you, we will inspire
Very
you
true.
to go over there. It's like taking the chances. It's going beyond your capacity at times.
Right. Right. Absolutely right. So
Yes.
Right.
I
So
see it's very important for every individual to understand. Nowadays when people are having access to internet, like specifically when people come on talk, when they ask question, then when the whole discussion is carried out, after that the student will say, "I'm lucky to have such mentor in my life." And I have experienced this on personal end also. That if I would have had a mentor 10 years back, I could have been in a different zone altogether. Because when we learn from our experiences and when we have a mentor to guide us like a light, then our life is totally different. Santosh, what is your take on this mentorship concept?
look, people still have a confusion out here regarding a trainer, a coach,
Mm.
and a mentor. They
Mentor.
think that
Yeah.
these are at the same level. A trainer is the one who really, transfers the information to the student, right, or any
Yes.
other trainees, right? Now, a coach is there when you really want to, for that particular event, a coach will always be there. But mentor is for lifelong, lifelong.
Yes.
But they help you throughout all of your weaknesses. They are there to, really, fine tune your skills, right? That fine tuning is always important whenever you have any problems. Like you see, these days, many people are saying that COVID-19 has affected a lot of businesses, and the businesses are closing it down. I was wondering, I could have also closed down, but
True.
why am I
Very true.
still still been able to survive because every time I've been fine tuning my programs, fine tuning my services, fine tuning everything. So shutting down the doors is not the answer.
Right.
Fine tuning everything is the answer at this point of time. And I have been able to, really process that. I know, and that is how you gain the experience of becoming a mentor. Now, if these difficulties does not come, you will not be able to, mentor anybody else.
Yes.
Practicality teaches you everything. Theoretical, forget about that. I don't even think about theoretical answers. I want a life scenario where I should see somebody struggling, and then they are coming out of that. And that
Yes.
uh, wisdom, that knowledge, when we transfer to
Yes.
our is to our mentors, what happens? They become very much secure and sound. That okay, at least I
True.
have a very mentor with me, and who will be able to guide. So what I want is this mentor should not be for a short term period. It should always be for lifelong. That's what I tell to
Right.
my uh, employees as well, and I tell to others, other whoever are connected to me directly and indirectly. Any problem, anytime, just dial my number 24/7. I'm available there to guide you every time.
In
So
simple terms, a mentor is always there to build an outstanding life of an individual. This is
Absolutely.
how I
I
want to see
thoroughly
it.
agree. I thoroughly
Yeah.
agree with this.
Yeah.
I have like lots of people are listening to us, watching us live today. So I would request you all to share your questions, and probably we can take your questions. Before that, I would like to ask Mangla, what's your take on Mentor Card? What do you think about this platform?
MentorCart is one such platform which is available in India right now, where it was a dream for many mentors like us. I think many would agree on this, and I must thank Mr. Ashish Khare and the entire team of MentorCart for bringing such a beautiful platform
Super.
where a mentor and a mentee can access each other, can discuss, can work, can associate on a longer term, and
Very true.
which obviously, see, when I say mentor cart, it's a cart. Different people with different backgrounds, expertise
True.
are available. Anybody can touch base with anybody and make sure they only progress at the end of the day. This is the only vision mission of mentor cart: help people progressing in their life, because goals need not be professional. Many have different colors of goals.
True. Very true.
Point, you have to make them reach there.
So Santosh, why Mentor Card?
well, you see, the when I was scrolling through Facebook, suddenly my eyes went into this platform, and then I tend to just put up the query because I really like to motivate. I really like to inspire, and that has been my forte as well. Because 6 years back, if I had started Be the Guide motivational coaching organization, then I wouldn't have been I would have been a different personality altogether, right?
True.
Be the Guide itself, it's about mentoring, right? So what happens when I entered into this and when I inquired, I really find that all the entire people in the mentor card was really, really, really great. They were really nice, kind towards whatever we wanted to offer, and they gave us this platform. Now, when I see questions in the detox, I used to always think,
Mm.
wow,
Yes.
I'm in such a position that I can
Mm.
answer all those questions. I can take up
Yeah.
through my own experience. I don't need to look at Google. I don't need to look at any other, background research. I have my own experience behind that, and I can be able to, help them out. And that's why, it gives me the next level. It is also known as a next level generation mentorship, right? One is to
Yes.
one
Yeah.
mentorship level. So that's what it really makes sense. And I want everybody in the entire India to really support this platform, because this is where your answers will be uh, given by different expertises, and you will
Right.
be getting kind of support and help wherever, whenever you want, and wherever you are.
And the best part of Mentor Card is Mentor Card provides you with a tool which wherein you can do your self assessment. That is
Yes.
really a remarkable thing. I think Mangla would enjoy this fact or appreciate this fact that how important is doing a self assessment. It's
So
I think
self
it's a key to success.
Yes, see, self-assessment can throw a lot of light on various factors in an individual's life. When I say it's more about cognitive distortions when we talk about,
True.
and I think most of your mentors will agree. Everything connects here in the subconscious, and subconscious, as you know, is one of the most powerful
The most powerful.
part of our
Absolutely right.
human brain. Yeah.
True.
So self-assessment is really necessary to know who am I, where I stand, where I have to
Absolutely,
go.
absolutely.
And we are all here to back them, to tell them that you are very much there and we are here to send you where you want to go.
True, true.
Sim-
And since pandemic, I believe the importance of subconscious mind has grown many folds, because now people who think that I am not going to get affected due to this thing, they are the most strongest people. And probably
Yes.
these are the people who are not worried by anything, and they are very happy. So there are few questions. Let me quickly take those questions, and I would like
Sure.
these honorable mentors to answer them one by one. I'll ask you question. This was a very interesting question. Shivansh has asked. I would like Mangla, and then I would like Santosh to have a take on this. That I have just completed my class 12th, but due to foggy vision, I never tried to give any attention to find my interest. So, what should I do to find my interest and career according to it? So, Mangla, would you like to answer this question first?
Yeah, sure. See, the 12th pass kid is always confused at the stage because that is where they have to choose
True.
and they are guided by many factors that pressurized to, as you know, parents have a different vision, different goal, different target, and he himself has some other idea of getting into where he may not be able to convince because he would have not done enough research.
True.
Now to
True.
switch back the attention, the very first thing to have a clear calm state of thinking is very very important. We call it as static thinking, where we
Okay.
arrive at one point, we zero in on that, then write down how it is going to be useful to me in future, not only
Right.
now. It
Absolutely
has
right.
to come there, where, like Einstein says, anything you learn will come up to 7 years. I think there are terms when we learn and it comes for lifetime also. The
Lifetime.
gaps
Very
are
true. Very true.
unlimited. Learnings never
Correct.
stop. So this kid must definitely work on the areas where he thinks he can convince his parents. It has to be always a win-win situation. I go with this because even I have a son. Tomorrow he may come up with the same thing, same dilemma. That is where we have to pitch in. We have to make sure they are guided properly. I mean, anybody for that matter, where they sit at that stage and think what I have to do if I am losing focus. Bring back the focus by understanding why you are losing focus. Root cause
True.
analysis is very much necessary, and they need to
Absolutely.
come to mentor card, talk to a professional,
Mentor.
know
Right.
their parents. And I think here some certified career counselors are also there. That is
Yeah.
the best.
Lot of mostly
They can
people who
approach
are part of like mentor card
their
mentors, they
parents
all
to
are
them
certified.
directly.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely right.
Yes,
Absolutely
so
right. Thanks a lot,
definitely I
Mangla,
want
for that
to approach
wonderful answer. Yeah, yeah. Next question is for Santosh.
Yeah, please
Shivansh has
flag it up.
asked one more question, that how can one define and stick to a long-term goal while the life is never going to be straight one? We may
yes.
found something interesting in life and change their path. So how can you define a long-term goal?
Yeah, just flag it up the question once again if I have to look.
Yeah, the main essence of this question is how can you define a long-term goal when you have so many options in the life and you develop interest every alternate day a different interest.
Well. That's a very good question. Now, if I'm reflecting back to my life, you see, class 12, graduation, class 10, it is the time, it's very, dangerous time for us actually. One split of a second can be better, one split of a second can be bad as well. So we
Right.
have to be and it's okay, it's fine if you don't have any real vision at that point of time, because I didn't had any real vision. I just wanted to become a naval officer. You see where am I today, right? Where is naval officer and where is mentoring, be the guide, motivational coach, and all those I'm doing. So what happens during all this process, what we believe long term goal is, you need to identify those skills. You see, those skills you will not be able to identify unless you are put into a practical situation when you start really working. Right now my suggestion to you all is, you need to just focus on your studies.
Hmm.
Do what is possible from your end, just focus on that. Once when you are, when you pass out from your class 12 or graduation, when you pass out, start hunting your job, because you see there is
True.
one area we are always good at. And if anybody tells to me that no, I'm not good at anything, I won't believe that. We need to
Yes.
do a, serious, what do you call, we need to find out, we need to dig hard what is that best in you.
True.
Everybody has their own particular area. You see, a criminal, nobody wants to become bad in this life, right? A murderer doesn't become a murderer, right? But situation changes, and that is what I want to tell you. Situation will always define your goal. Right now, please make yourself calm, cool, patient, and just focus on what you really have. The mission part. Don't forget the mission part, the short-term goal. Your short-term goal is your exams, your tests, and along with it, you need to identify what are you good at also. Because I wouldn't have found out that I'm really good at, in a creative words. I really love to, play with words. I wouldn't have known that if I have not tried. Somebody wants
True.
to become a dancer, they follow that passion as well. So keep that.
Absolutely.
You know, do not just because of pressures, do not stop your passion. That's what
Absolutely.
my suggestion is. Never stop your
Super.
passion. Continuously find
Absolutely
out
right.
time. When it's the
Very
time
true.
to study, just study.
True.
When it's time to play, just play. When it's time to go for follow your passion,
Fun.
please
Yeah.
follow your passion. Do not
Yeah.
mix it. And when you are mixing it, and when you are mixing all these things, that is the time you land up in the trouble. Your results go
True.
down. Your passion, you are not able to invest more time in your passion, and the pressure amounts from your home environment only, right?
True.
So this
Very
is
true.
what. Now, when you go towards your working, when you feel that you are really, ready to work, now that is the time you need to. That is the time when you actually come out of your comfort zone, right? That is the time
True.
when you tend to do something very different. By going towards those, those areas, then you'll understand. Okay, this is what I have. This is what I have. This skills I have. This skills I have. Now that is the time you need to understand what people are speaking about you. Some of them, they will say that, okay, you are a very good, typist. You are a very good dancer. You are a very good, speaker. All these things they will say. So that is what people are telling about you. That means you have something on those particular front, on those particular
True.
field, right? And that defines your identity. Now if I go along in my entire life, and I try to find out who am I will never be able to find myself. Who am I will be identified. I will know that these are my skills, and people knows that these skills are, actually giving me that recognition, that visibility, right? So
Very
when
well
you
said.
are
Very well said.
a long-term goal, when you are going towards to your long-term goal, what happens is this: then only day by day you start becoming confident about your activities, and that is the time which when you will get a clear picture what you really want to do life. I wouldn't have known that I would have to become, or I would love to become a motivational speaker or motivation coach. I
Very
was
true.
working in a bank. You see how different it is. I was working as a construction manager. I was working as a teacher. Uh, I was working as a part-time cyber person, receptionist as well. I do not know, but today I know my purpose. As you go along this line, you will understand what is the purpose that
True.
you really want to do about your life. So right
Right.
now, be calm. Do not think so much about your future. Just
Yeah.
focus on your present.
Yeah.
That's
Right.
important. Take a deep
So,
breath inside. Just focus. That's
yeah,
it.
yeah, yeah, yeah. A wonderful answer, Dosh. Next question is by Srishti Thapa, and a very good question. Mangla, if you could
Uh-huh.
just help her out. She's asking that a lot of things have been said about risk, but can you just tell us with an example what is calculated risk?
All right, see, calculated risk. Santosh, it has come back. I was damn sure that student would definitely ask what
Absolutely.
is calculated risk.
Yes.
As far as I am well aware about calculated risk is within my an individual's capacity of reaching or taking a risk and managing it really well enough. And even say if something goes wrong, I will definitely have my plan B working there. So this is more like a calculative risk. I think probably technically when calculative risks are counted, we will talk about the money, we'll talk about the time, we will talk about the resource, we'll talk about the network. See, these are the factors that come into the picture. But trust me, once you have everything set, you can pitch everything easily.
True.
It's
Very
only
true.
it's only the precision that matters to me. When I have to fix myself with something, definitely I will work out my things in a better way.
See,
And
our
for
topic for today. Yeah, 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 Mangla. Would you like to
Let
And
me
continue?
for
add on it.
Yeah,
a
yeah,
kid,
yeah.
you will have to just talk to someone and assure yourself that you can go get it done within your capacity. This is where I always say
Absolutely.
within your
True. Very true.
capacity,
True. Very
not
true.
going beyond the circumstances is not advisable when you do not know the routes or the options available or existing.
Right, absolutely right. And today's topic is about inspiration and goal setting, and people who are attending this session must have understood, like, when there is something which is of our interest, you can look at the intensity, the energy level of our mentors. As we are progressing, they are charging up. They are
I'm
even
still
more
charging up. I'm
focused.
fully charged.
They're focused, and they are very hungry for questions. Yeah, come on, shoot, we would like to answer more questions. This is what life is all about. It's not about working in comfort zone, not at all. It is
Yeah.
all about focusing on what you want to attain, how you want to attain, how can you take help of people who would
Mm,
like to be associated with you, how to take their guidance, how to learn from their experiences, how to be big in your life, the importance of thinking big, what is the role of aspiration, how to identify your need, wants, and demand, how to identify that one individual who is going to change your life forever. So this has been a theme, and all the attendees, I would request you that we have shared the link for a mentor card in the YouTube and Facebook platform. Please do download this app and get connected to many mentors like this wonderful people who are sitting over there, and
Bro,
talk about
I
n
would like
number
to
of.
add one thing.
Yeah, Santosh, just let me finish. Yeah, and
I'm
this
still
is really an amazing thing that is happening, and we are going to continue with this every Saturday. Please mind my words now, mark my words. Every Saturday 7 p.m. we are going to discuss a lot of aspects which are going to focus on the development of an student as an individual, and how they can progress professionally, right? One question. Yes, Santosh, please. Just one question. This
sure.
is for you. What is the best advice you can give to help plan a career rather than simply work for a job?
Fantastic. I was thinking on this, area only right now. That's what I wanted to really give the answer. I was about to tell you that, Sarup, I would like
Yeah,
to give
I
one
knew
advice
that there is
to
one question for you. That's why I asked you to stop.
right. Bingo.
Yeah,
All right.
yeah.
So I would suggest to the students, and age-wise, okay, you see, we have various, age groups, right? So from
mm,
what I would like to suggest is people who are under the age of, let's say from 10 to 20, you should
mm,
always find a mentor to guide you, to help
mm,
you out during this
mm,
phase of life,
mm,
right? During this phase of life, you really need to be focused on what you really want to become. So guidance is very, very important. All right. So 10 to 20, very important. Find a mentor, find a good guidance. 20 to 30, you start, exploring yourself. You still need a bit of guidance, but that is the time when you really have a little bit of experience in yourself, and then you can show. But yes, do not forget about the mentor. 30 to 40, please forget working under any organization. Start creating your own business. Go, towards becoming an entrepreneur. Solve the problem of the society. The society has a lot of problem, and you have the solution. When there is a
mm,
problem, we have, and that is where the entrepreneurs comes. 30 to
True.
40 years of age, please expand your business. After 40 years, chill, sit, go to Hawaii Island and enjoy a vacation. Just concentrate on few things and then explore yourself. That's how you need to plan your long-term goal as well. This sums up
True.
all regarding
Yeah.
whatever we have been discussing.
Mangla, there is a question for you. Quickly, I would like you to guide on this question, that how to set up a realistic goal.
Setting up a realistic goal happens only when you have a particular, real, measurable, more achievable,
Measure
yeah, and doable.
smart
That
goal.
is very important. When I say the smart goal, specific,
Right.
measurable, achievable, relevant, and time bound, this is where the smart comes. You have to make
Right.
your goal really
Right.
smart. When I say,
True.
I may be very smart in my appearance, but if I don't put my logic at the end of the day on how I would want to achieve whatever I have thought, that may never. It becomes a half cooked food, or some
True.
halwa or some dish actually. And here, to make it more specific, go to a particular point, or an idea. That is where things starts working. From there on, dream, vision, ideas, from ideas to planning, planning to execution, execution back to feedback. You should always be open to feedback. If you're writing it down or say analyzing it, visualizing is not enough. You have to make it as a habit. Goals cannot be just spoken. You have to cultivate it as a habit. Only once it
Absolutely.
becomes a habit, you can hit the road even having bumps. You will know how to
Right.
turn your way.
Absolutely right. True.
Yes.
Very true. So, Mangla, I
Hmm.
have one more question for you.
Huh?
What is the best
All
way to
question for you,
inspire
Mula.
others?
Right.
Sorry.
What is the best way to inspire others?
The best way to inspire others is keep smiling and always say I am capable of doing anything, even if that says somewhere here the fear is
True.
here. Fear is non-existent. If you all know very
True.
well, psychologically, fear doesn't exist. We inculcate the fear for nothing.
True.
So, to
Absolutely.
inspire others, just be yourself and shout out to the world that I'm alive and I'm happy living. This is the only thing I have.
Whenever there is,
Mantra.
yeah, where there
Santosh,
is
I have a
an,
question for you. Just
yeah,
wait, I
please go
have a
ahead.
question for you, Santosh. That we spoke about a lot of planning, then we spoke about a lot of things that keep on happening in our life, and we develop a lot of different interests. Then, how is it important that planning for a particular career? If everything is going to keep on changing, then why? How should we plan our careers?
Is it for
Fantastic. See, changes.
Santosh?
Santosh, Santosh. Yeah,
Yeah. See, change is one thing which is very much, permanent. All right.
Yeah.
It's not to end every time. And that is why it's very, very important for us to, keep on polishing our tools, sharpening our skills every time. You never know what situation occurs at any point of time, right? And you are not ready, then what are you going to do? Nobody thought that, many of the businesses, they were not, ready for this situation crisis right now, right? And that's why they went down. What you need
Hmm.
to do is planning for a long term goal. Again, you see it goes down like that. Planning for a long term goal is that you need to keep a tab on everything that is happening around. Now, if you think that, okay, fine, somebody has a problem in relation to job purpose, okay, now you need to find out what sort of placements you can give to them. Now, to be precise, to be perfect, I'll tell you, we have four lives, okay? Career life, educational life, personal life, and
Hmm.
financial. My question to all of you is, which life do you really want to resolve? If you want to resolve any one of this life, that is the path you should choose for your long-term goal. And because if I want to solve, and I
no worries. You are on, Santosh.
No, no, I
We
think
can see
something
you.
went wrong. He went off.
Okay, no worries. No worries, no worries. So, guys, before we conclude the session today, I would request you all to kindly download the MentorCard app from the Play Store and start answering question on the D Talk and
Yes.
keep watching, keep supporting us, keep blessing us the way you have done it today. And we are very thankful to you for joining us today. Thanks a lot from Mangla, from me, from Santosh, from MentorCard for being a part of today's discussion. Thanks, Mangla. Bye bye.
Yeah, thank you so much. And want to convey to all those who are watching us right now, guys, no matter what, keep smiling.
True.
Be happy that you're alive today. That's all. 2020, I think this is the only thing you have to keep it in mind.
Right, absolutely right. Thank you,
See you.
Mangla. Chalo,
See you.
take
Stay
care.
blessed,
Bye bye.
all of you.